At 6:42 on a cold Tuesday morning, Maya Bennett watched her former stepfather pull into a gas station driving a brand-new black SUV. 6 months earlier, Raymond Cole had been sitting in a jail cell. He had attacked Maya's family inside their own home. The police had taken him away and the court had sentenced him to 6 months behind bars. Everyone thought his life was finally falling apart. But now he had a new car, a new apartment, a job reportedly paying nearly $7,000 a month. And somehow people were beginning to treat him like he was the victim. Maya stood across the parking lot, staring at him through the windshield of her mother's aging sedan. She had no job, no car of her own, no driver's license. And after months of applications, rejection emails kept filling her inbox. She had spent years trying to be the peaceful one. Raymond had spent years creating chaos. Yet somehow he seemed to be winning. Then Maya noticed something taped beneath the passenger side window of his SUV. A small white envelope. She couldn't read the entire message from where she stood. But she could make out 3 words. "We need to talk." And for the first time, Maya wondered whether Raymond's sudden success wasn't luck at all. Maybe someone had been helping him. Maybe someone was afraid of him. Or maybe the man who had walked out of prison 6 months earlier had been hiding something much bigger. Because by the end of that week, Maya would discover that Raymond's perfect new life had been built on a secret that could destroy everything he had worked so hard to create. Maya Bennett had spent most of her life believing that if she stayed quiet, worked hard, and treated people well, eventually life would reward her. Then she met Raymond Cole. Raymond wasn't her biological father. He married her mother when Maya was 16, and at first he seemed like exactly the kind of man her mother needed. He was confident, funny, good at talking to strangers. He could walk into a room full of people and somehow make everyone like him within 10 minutes. But Maya quickly noticed something different. When nobody was watching, Raymond changed. His jokes became insults. His confidence became control. And his temper could turn an ordinary evening into a disaster. Maya learned to recognize the warning signs. The way Raymond slammed a cabinet. The way his voice became quieter instead of louder. The way her mother suddenly stopped talking. The way Ethan disappeared into his bedroom. For years, everyone adapted around Raymond. Nobody wanted to admit that they were afraid of him. Until one night everything changed. Raymond came home furious. An argument started. Then something was thrown. Maya heard her mother scream. Ethan came running down the hallway. Within minutes the police arrived. Raymond was taken away. For the first time in years the house became completely silent. Not peaceful. Just silent. The court eventually sentenced Raymond to prison. Maya thought that chapter was over. He was wrong. About 2.5 months after Raymond's release, he disappeared from the state. At first, nobody knew where he had gone. Then Denise received a message. Raymond had met a woman named Lauren Whitmore. Lauren was wealthy. She owned several properties and apparently had no idea about the chaos Raymond had left behind. For a while, Raymond lived in her home. Maya couldn't understand it. How could someone with such a terrible history simply walk into another state and start over? Then Lauren and Raymond broke up. Maya assumed that was the end of the story. But several weeks later, Raymond appeared again. This time he had a job. Not an ordinary job. A job that reportedly paid nearly $7,000 a month. Then came the car. A nearly new black SUV. Raymond posted photographs online as if he had transformed himself overnight. New clothes. New restaurants. New friends. New life. Meanwhile, Maya was struggling. She had lost her own job. She didn't have a car. She hadn't obtained her license. Every application seemed to end with another rejection. And the more she watched Raymond succeed, the angrier she became. One evening, Maya sat across from her mother at the kitchen table. "Tell me something," Maya said. Denise looked up. "What? How does someone destroy everything around him and still somehow get rewarded?" Denise didn't answer. Maya continued. "He went to prison. He lost his marriage. Everybody knows what he did. And now he's making more money than I've ever made." Her mother slowly put down her coffee. "Maya, you're comparing your beginning to somebody else's performance. He has a car. That doesn't mean he's happy. He has money. That doesn't mean he's changed." Maya shook her head. "It just doesn't feel fair." Denise looked at her daughter. "No," she said quietly. "It isn't." A week later, Maya received a message from Ethan. I found something weird about Raymond. Maya called him immediately. What? I found an old picture from when he was staying with Lauren. So, look at the background. Ethan sent the photograph. Maya zoomed in. Behind Raymond was a desk. On the desk sat several folders. One had Lauren's company name printed across it. Maya stared at the photograph. Why would Raymond have access to her business files? I don't know. Did Lauren know? I think so. Maya suddenly remembered something. Lauren had never spoken publicly about why she and Raymond separated. That bothered her. So Maya searched for Lauren's business contact information and sent a carefully worded message. She expected nothing. 2 days later Lauren replied. I think you deserve to know what happened. Maya's stomach tightened. Lauren agreed to meet. They sat at a quiet coffee shop on the other side of town. Lauren looked nothing like the woman Maya had imagined. She wasn't angry. She wasn't dramatic. She simply looked tired. Raymond told me many things about his past, Lauren said. Did you believe him? At first. What changed? Lauren reached into her bag. She placed several documents on the table. I noticed inconsistencies. Maya looked down. Dates, names, companies, addresses. Some of the information Raymond had given Lauren didn't match what she found when she investigated. Then Lauren said something Maya didn't expect. He was interested in my business from the moment he moved into my house. Maya frowned. What do you mean? He asked questions that weren't normal questions. What kind? How much property I owned? Who handled my accounts? Which companies I worked with? Who had access to certain projects? Maya felt cold. Did he steal anything? Lauren shook her head. Not exactly. Then what? He copied information. Maya looked at her. Lauren continued. I confronted him. That's when everything changed. What did he say? He said I was paranoid. Maya almost laughed. That sounded exactly like Raymond. Lauren leaned forward. Then I checked something. What? One of the people connected to my business had received a message from someone using information only an employee should have known. Maya stared at the documents. Raymond. I couldn't prove everything, Lauren said. But I knew enough to end the relationship. Maya suddenly understood. The mysterious envelope on Raymond's SUV. The strange job. The sudden money. The new life. There was more happening than she knew. Lauren wasn't finished. After he left, someone contacted me. Who? His new employer. Maya's eyes widened. Why? Because they had questions about his background. Maya looked down at the documents again. Did you tell them? Lauren nodded. I gave them everything I had. Maya felt something inside her shift. For months she had believed Raymond had somehow beaten the system. Now she realized she had been looking at only one part of the story. His success wasn't proof that he had become a better person. It was simply the version of his life he wanted everyone else to see. 3 days later Maya saw Raymond again. He was sitting inside his new SUV outside a restaurant. For a moment she considered walking away. Instead she approached. Raymond lowered the window. Well, look who it is. Maya didn't smile. How's the new life? Raymond laughed. Better than yours, apparently. The words hit exactly where he intended. Maya felt the old anger rise. But this time she didn't react. You know what? She said. What? I used to think your success meant I was failing. Raymond smirked. Maybe you finally figured it out. No. Maya looked directly at him. I figured out that your life isn't what you pretend it is. His expression changed. Only slightly. But Maya saw it. For the first time Raymond looked nervous. What are you talking about? Lauren. His face hardened. Stay out of my business. You should have thought about that before making other people's business your business. Raymond stared at her. Then he drove away. Maya stood there watching the SUV disappear. She expected to feel victorious. Instead she felt strangely calm. Because she finally understood something. Revenge wasn't always destroying somebody. Sometimes revenge was refusing to become like them. Over the next several weeks, Raymond's carefully constructed image began to unravel. His employer questioned information he had provided. Lauren's documentation became part of the investigation. People who had once believed his stories began asking questions. The new job disappeared. The expensive restaurants stopped. The photographs stopped. And eventually the black SUV disappeared too. Maya never celebrated. She never posted about it. She never told everyone, I was right. She simply moved forward. She started applying for work again. Then she found a small opportunity with a local company. The pay wasn't $7,000 a month. It wasn't glamorous. But it was hers. She began saving. She worked toward getting her license. She repaired her relationship with her mother. And slowly she stopped checking Raymond's social media. One afternoon months later, Maya sat in the driver's seat of a used sedan she had purchased with her own savings. Her mother sat beside her. Maya looked at the steering wheel. Remember when I thought everyone else was moving forward except me? Denise smiled. You were never standing still. Maya laughed. I sure felt like I was. Her mother reached over and squeezed her hand. You were surviving. Maya looked through the windshield. For years she had measured success by money. By cars. By jobs. By what other people thought. But now she understood. Raymond had spent his life chasing appearances. Maya had spent hers trying to build something real. And those two things were never going to look the same. She turned the key. The engine started. For the first time in a long time, Maya wasn't wondering where Raymond was. She wasn't wondering how much money he had. She wasn't wondering why life seemed unfair. She simply pulled out of the driveway. And drove forward. Because sometimes the most satisfying ending isn't watching the person who hurt you lose everything. Sometimes it's realizing you no longer need them to lose anything at all. You just need to stop letting their life determine how you feel about yours.